Will silver shed its reputation as being the poor man's gold? We're talking all things silver today with Logo Tiggre. He is the principal analyst and editor over at the Independent Speculator, and also a new contributor to Kitco.com. You can catch him every week on our site. Lobo, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here again
after 10 years.
10 years.
10 years. And we actually have a clip of the first time we interviewed you. We both looked perhaps a little younger.
A little bit.
So before we talk silver, now that we're on the topic of 10 years, reflecting back, and I'm asking other guests this as well, what have we learned and how much more do we have to learn?
Well, do people ever learn? 10 years, we have seen a peak, we've seen a trough, we've seen a cycle. And in ways, I would say what we've learned is what we knew already. This sounds lame maybe, but it's true. These markets are cyclical. And as much as that hurts when they're cycling down, it means they will cycle up again. So,
everything
buy
is
low,
cyclical.
Sell high. If it's, well, let me say real quick, my room was half empty when I gave a talk yesterday, and I asked for a show of hands. How many people think this is a good or bad thing? And everybody said it was a good thing. Like, the people who are here are contrarians, and they understand how you have to buy low. So I think that's what we've learned.
So speaking about buying low, how's that as a segue for silver right now? How do you see silver set up right now?
I really like the silver setup. We were just talking about this, and it's not because I'm a silver bug. I am perfectly agnostic when it comes to metals. I want to go where the market trends, where the realities are pointing me. But silver bugs rejoice. I am very, very bullish on silver this year because I'm bullish on gold, and where gold goes, silver follows. I think the past is very clear that when the precious metals break out, gold leads, and then silver goes off with a zing. And this is no great mystery, it's not rocket science. We know that silver is more volatile. And so if gold's gonna go up, silver is gonna go up more. We saw this from 2001 to 2011 and that big overall rise, silver outperformed gold. We've seen that in recent months where gold will rally and silver will rally on a percentage basis more. This is a very normal thing. So I'm very bullish on precious metals, so I'm uber bullish on silver.
I'm going to ask you to define what you mean by bullish, because for some people, it will be triple digit silver. For some, it's just hitting $19 this year. Where do you fall in that spectrum?
My answer would be, I think there's a very good chance that this is going to sound promotional, but I do think this. I think that 2019 could be the year that we finally break out of this range that we've been in. In gold terms, between roughly 1,200 and 1,400, we've been ping-ponging back and forth. Can't get above that 1,376 level or whatever the exact number is. I think we have both the fear trade potential and the greed trade potential playing into precious metals this year in a way we haven't seen for a while. So my optimism, my bullishness is not, $1,500 price target or $2,000 price target. My bullishness is simply, I think the ingredients are there for a significant breakout and could be off to the races after that. I'm happy to get the direction right, though, rather than set a target.
All right, let's talk about the gold-silver ratio, since many of my guests depend on it religiously to determine where silver or gold might be headed, but you say throw that out the window.
Yes, I did. I've written about this before, and you asked about what have we learned in 10 years. I've looked at the gold-silver ratio since I started in this business 15 years ago, and I have found basically zero predictive power in the GSR. The gold-silver ratio being out of whack tells you that it's out of whack. It doesn't say it can't get more out of whack, and it doesn't tell you which metal will go up, right? The gold-silver ratio can close by gold dropping just as easily as silver rising, right? So I have looked at it many ways. I've thrown plenty of math at it. I have not been able to find a way to use the gold-silver ratio to predict which metal will go up. But what we do know is that it does tend to normalize. So if you're bullish on gold, coming back to what I said before, and the gold-silver ratio normalizes, then silver has to do better than gold.
All right, fair enough. Finally, Lobo, last time we spoke, you were loving uranium. You thought it was going to be the breakout star this year. You're sticking to that?
Well, when we talked about it, it was 2018, and I was right. Uranium was one of the best performing assets of all classes in 2018. And if you look at the charts and you see the blip in 2016, the blip in 2017, then you see the big rise in 2018. To me, those are quite different. They're also a series of higher highs and higher lows. So I think this is happening now. I'm not saying, it's going to happen. I'm saying it's happening now, and I have personally invested in that space.
But so much it will be determined, or it's determined by Trump's decisions on uranium. There's a lot of politics involved.
I wouldn't agree. I mean, this Section 232 thing, that could be a great tailwind for uranium, and Trump's support could be a great tailwind for uranium. But the uranium story doesn't require that. We have prices that are less than half of what's needed for this business to work. And yes, there are some plants being shut down, but there are more being built. And whether China builds 60 plants or not, it doesn't matter. They're building a half a dozen now. The demand is growing. The supply cannot keep up at current prices. So this is not an if question. It's not even a when question in my mind anymore. It's a happening now question. And I put my money where my mouth is. I encourage people to check that out at Independent Speculator. I'm having a live webinar, by the way, in a couple weeks. So people have questions, I will take them. We only have a moment here, but I'm happy to get into this as much detail as anybody wants.
Fantastic. And Lobo, for those who might be confused and say, well, wait a second, 10 years ago you had a different name. It's not a typo.
No, it's not. The Louis James was a pen name I used for writing at Casey Research. My real name, as you can see, is a little bit more colorful, and it just seemed like a more normal, sane-sounding name was, I don't know. In retrospect, I regret it, but now the hallmark of my work is transparency, and it just didn't feel right to write under a pen name anymore. So I've come out of the closet, as it were. Here I am with my real name.
Logo Tiggre. Follow him. He's on Kitco.com, and it was great to be reunited with you in person.
Thanks, Danielle.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thanks for watching. We'll have more for you on Kitco.com.